Welcome to Lesson 2 in Unit 8, Putting on a Show with Light and Sound. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how can we change sound? In this lesson, students are introduced to volume and pitch. They investigate how palm pipes can be used to change sound. Students figure out that a greater force causes bigger vibrations and a louder sound. Changing the length of an object causes a change in how fast it vibrates and changes the pitch. Students make connections to the storyline by discovering that volume and pitch help us hear music and sound in puppet shows with more clarity. There are several opportunities for ELA and math cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 8 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 4 to 5 days to complete. To begin the lesson to engage, you'll ask students what they learned in the last lesson and discuss how sound is created by vibrations. You'll then play a sound clip and ask students what they notice and wonder, as well as what instruments they think are being used. You'll revisit the driving question board and highlight questions connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about how to change sound or how to make sound louder or quieter. For the Explore, you'll bring the class together and ask students that knowing what they know about vibrations, what do they think makes a sound louder or softer, or higher or lower? You'll then put students into groups and hand out a set of palm pipes to each group for the volume and pitch investigation. Before having the students use the palm pipes, demonstrate how to use them by gently tapping the open end on your palm. Be sure to see the tutorial slides that detail the materials and procedures for this activity. Before students begin the investigation, you'll direct them to the Palm Pipe Investigation Student Journal page. You'll discuss the investigation questions and have students make and share predictions, but do not discuss correct answers. This activity will allow them to test the palm pipes and collect evidence to answer these questions. You'll post and discuss the pitch and volume vocabulary cards. For the Explain portion, you'll bring the class together and lead a discussion about students' observations about the palm pipe investigation. Use the provided questions to guide your discussion around the question, how can we change sound? The goal of this class discussion is to identify what causes the volume and pitch of a sound to change. Use the discussion to create the Lesson 2 summary chart. By the end of the discussion, students should understand that they can use volume and pitch and create a more interesting sound for their puppet show. You'll complete the first 2 rows of the chart during the Explain and the last row during the Evaluate. During the discussion, students can check and revise their Palm Pipe Investigation Student Journal page. You'll then read Sounds All Around Us, the Science of How Sound Works to the class. Use the Read Aloud guide to pose questions to students and identify key vocabulary. You'll post and discuss the sound wave, decibel, force, and length vocabulary cards. You'll then direct students to the Pitch, Volume, and Vibrations Student Journal page. Students can apply what they learned from the book to show how each action changed the vibrations and the sound. For the Elaborate portion, you'll do the tuning fork and drum demonstration. You'll use a latex glove over the opening of a cup to create a drum. See the tutorial slides for detailed setup and procedure information. You'll complete the summary chart discussion with student observations of the demonstration. For the Evaluate, you'll ask students to take out their drawings for their musical instrument designs. You'll have students revise their drawings on the Musical Instrument Drawing Student Journal page and describe how their instrument will change pitch and volume to make music. You'll encourage students to add labels and explain their thinking based on what they have learned in this lesson. To support student sense-making across the unit, orient them back to the driving question board. Ask, what did we learn about how we can change sound? And what new questions do we have? By the end of this lesson, students will have planned an investigation to produce evidence that changing vibrations create different sounds, and developed a model of an object that can increase and decrease in volume and pitch. In Lesson 3, students will investigate how they can vary pitch and volume to create rhythm. For the optional extend, you'll give students an opportunity to investigate further with the palm pipes. They can try to play a tune and see how the high, low, loud, and soft sounds affect how they feel about music. For more information about this unit, visit myscipartners.com.